If we turn our backs and spit in his face, is God still gonna bless the USA?
A Native American boy was sent out to climb a very high mountain by his tribe as part of his rite of passage to manhood. After a long, challenging climb, the young Native American reached the cold summit. To his surprise, he discovered a rattlesnake at the top of the mountain, freezing and near death. The rattlesnake begged the Indian to save him by carrying him down the mountain to the warmer climate. The boy said, "You're a snake. If I carry you down the mountain, you will bite me." But the rattler replied, "No, if you carry me down the mountain, I will be so grateful I will not bite you, and your tribe will be very impressed by your bravery." The Indian wanted to prove his bravery and decided to put the rattlesnake under his jacket to warm it and carry it down the mountain. When he reached the bottom, he took the snake out of his coat to show his tribesmen, at which time the snake bit him. The Indian looked at the snake and said, "Why did you break your promise and do that after I helped you?" The snake replied, "You knew who I was when you picked me up." Greetings, Patriots. I'm Perry Green. Welcome to our God in America podcast. Tomorrow is Constitution Day, and it has me thinking about our grand document that's been the basis for the longest-lasting republic in history. There is a well-funded nationwide effort that has been in the works for over a decade to amend our Constitution. Over the years, the states have voted to participate in an Article 5 convention, and during that time, some have subsequently rescinded their participation. Currently, 19 states are in favor of such a resolution, including Oklahoma, primarily due to the emotional appeal of the late Senator Tom Coburn. On the surface, the people who advocate for the Convention of States want to amend the Constitution and have noble goals. We saw the fear Congress had of too much concentrated power when they amended the Constitution to limit the president to 2 terms. Out of a similar fear and the inability of the people to control their elected officials, they want to limit congressional terms and limit federal judicial service. The federal budget has not been balanced since the presidency of Andrew Jackson. None of the well-respected modern presidents from either party has achieved a balanced budget, so this group advocates for a balanced budget amendment. Proponents argue that this process would return power to the states and the people, reducing the influence of unelected federal bureaucrats and agencies such as the EPA, FDA, and Federal Reserve. Most Americans would like to limit the government's power and its potential overreach. Ronald Reagan once quipped, "The 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, 'I'm from the government and I'm here to help.' We know better, right? When it comes to government, you knew what I was when you picked me up." Our forefathers had the wisdom to know the Constitution would need amendments over time. Right out of the box, states refused to ratify the document until the Bill of Rights was included in the form of the first 10 amendments. The Convention of States supporters have what appear to be good ideas, and if we lived in a moral and religious nation, the amendments might be a good thing. Upon closer examination, we see the dangers of a Convention of States. Article 5 of the U.S. Constitution establishes the process for amending the Constitution, requiring a 2-stage process of proposal and ratification. By Congress, a proposed amendment must receive a 2/3 vote in both the House of Representatives and the Senate. By a convention, Congress is required to call a convention for proposing amendments if 2/3 of the state legislatures apply for one. This method has never been used in U.S. history. Note that Congress is authorized to call such a convention, placing it in charge. The danger is that there's only one precedent for a Convention of States, and that was the original Constitutional Convention. As much as we revere the product of that endeavor, it began as an attempt to rewrite the Articles of Confederation. However, once the delegates were in place, they disregarded the rules of the convention, discarded the Articles of Confederation, and initiated the process of writing a constitution. If the people, with the integrity of George Washington, broke the rules, what do you suppose today's Congress and potential delegates might do? You knew what I was when you picked me up. The open-ended nature of a convention could compromise your fundamental rights and liberties. Once the delegates are in place, according to the original precedent and the Supreme Court, they are not bound to limit their activities to the advertised amendments. They are not under the control of the states that sent them. They can do whatever they want, including throwing out the Constitution and creating a new one, as in 1787. If such happens at a convention of states, it would be our fault. You knew what I was when you picked me up. Our beloved Congress has the responsibility of determining how the votes at a convention would be counted. The convention of state folks tell us one state, one vote. That's potentially true. However, Congress can also allocate the voting according to the Electoral College. My state of Oklahoma would get 7 votes, and the Marxist-leaning Gavin Newsom supporting California would get 54. What could go wrong with that? You knew what I was when you picked me up. I've wondered why the framers didn't put term limits in the Constitution. They put that responsibility on the people. If their elected officials fail them, the people will replace them at the polls. Today, we have corrupt elections and an uninformed populace that has disengaged from its responsibility. Instead of potentially having a runaway convention of states, let's restore voter integrity and re-engage with our civic responsibilities. Let's expose the corruption and demand fair elections so that we, the people, are in control of our government. If we take our responsibilities seriously, we can have a nation that Isaiah describes. Behold, a king will reign in righteousness, and princes will rule with justice. Thanks for being with us today. Please like, follow, share, and subscribe to our podcast. If you'd like to donate to our ministry, please go to our website. As we close, let's keep the light of clear thinking burning.